Hello, my name is R.Younis. I'm here to represent homework number 2 for the ECE7400 Robotics and Imaging for Dr. Pandya. This is a setup for the first part of the second homework where the robot movement is to be observed in the X direction one time, in the Y direction another time, and in the Z direction a third time. This is a GUI that you can see up there, and it has basically a push button, and on top there's a drop list that you can enter X or Y or Z for the movement. And this is the setup on the Arduino board along with the circuit board that includes the potentiometer that will allow the robot after it's drawn to move in the direction selected, and there is also a push button to stop reading from the potentiometer. I'm going to start the by selecting the first thing, which is going to select the X position, and then push the button to start the drawing the robot. And here is the graphics, and I'm going to move the potentiometer so that the robot starts moving in the X direction. And you can see that the robot is moving in the X direction as I move the potentiometer all the way from full to full range. Okay, now if just by hitting the stop button, the LED turns off as well, and then if you move the potentiometer, nothing is going to be read and nothing's going to be reflected on the screen. That tells me that it's moving properly and the code is proper. I'm going to push while I'm still selecting X one more time, and then go play with the potentiometer and then see if the X still moves the X-axis. And it looks like that the X-axis is still moving properly. So I'm going to take it all the way to the end, and you can see it's stretching. Pressing the button again, the LED should disappear, and then the code stop. I'm going to go and select the Y now to be able to move it in the Y direction. Push, and then the robot changes, and it is at one end of the Y, and then it keep moving by moving the potentiometer, and then again one more time to the other side, and then I'm just gonna hit the stop button to show now the LED also goes. And there is by the way, if you play around again with the potentiometer, nothing happens. Now we're gonna select the Z in movement in the Z drive and push the button. Now the robot is actually allowing me to move up or down. This is down, this is up all the way, and this is down in the Z direction. You can see it, and then goes back up as the potentiometer is moved, and it moves all the way up and then comes back down as you wish, but it's moving in the Z direction. And hitting the stop button will also allow it to stop and no more reading of the code. This concludes the first portion of the second homework. I'm going to start the second portion, but I still have to clear all. And the second portion is for brightness of an image. I'm just gonna run the code. It's gonna use also the same exact setup with the Arduino and the potentiometer. That's fine. And it's starting up right now. Give it a second. Now it starts. This is a GUI. The GUI basically has a display image the image is displayed, and then to start collecting brightness value from potentiometer, you have to hit the button on top, and then the potentiometer, you can see the potentiometer is basically dimming and then brightening up slowly, brightening up all the way. So basically both ends of the spectrum, the white and the black, are basically observed when you play around with the potentiometer, and that brings back the image to basically to its original. And then the button will stop, allowing the potentiometer to move and control the brightness. With this, I come to the conclusion of the second part of homework number 2. Thank you.